Good morning, everybody. I'm at pattern-collections.com like I always am to find my pattern. I'm going to use Intermingle. People ask me all the time what app I'm using. I'm not using an app. I'm on the website, okay? So I've chosen this one as today's pattern. This one's by Ina. This one's a little more complex. It looks really hard. I mean, if you look at that, you look at that and you go, I give up. Not even going to try. Nope, not even going to try. That is way too hard for me. But if we follow the steps, which is the best part of pattern tangling and using the step outs, if we follow the steps, it's not so bad. So here's step one. First thing we're going to do before we even draw step one is in pencil, we're going to make a grid, just a regular squared off grid, and then we're going to double those lines. Super easy, right? You can use a ruler or a straight edge to make them nice and straight and even, or you can do them more free form, and they can be exact squares if you want your finished product to be exact circles like this. Then you want your squares to be exact squares. If you don't care if your circles are wonky, then your squares can be wonky. They can be rectangles, they can be whatever. You know, they don't have to be exact. Just saying. So the first step we're going to do is we're going to do a arc. We're going to come from here, and we're not going to come all the way over to here. We're going to stop right there. Can you see where that is? That, I'm assuming this is very important. I haven't drawn it yet. I think I drew it a long time ago when it first came out, because it says it came out in 2018. So I may have drawn this a couple years back, but I haven't drawn it since. So it's not a pattern I have like in my head. But anyways, we're going to draw from here, from this. There's the little square. We're going to draw on this side of it. We're going to come down and we're going to stop about, I don't know, not quite halfway, about a quarter of the way over. Okay, so if you figure out where half is, that's about a quarter, more or less. Then we're going to skip a box, and then we're going to do it again, and then skip a box, and probably do it again, and so forth. And on the next row, we're going to do it opposite. We're going to do it, you're always skipping one, so it's every other one. So like a checkerboard in every other square. Then, and this is going to be where I'm going to turn my page. Then we're going to do that same exact movement going this way, but instead of going this way for me, and I'm going to see if I can do this without my phone auto-rotating, I'm going to turn my page and then, oh, no, it auto-rotated. Let me do it flat on the, you're going to get a little bit of shine, but I'm going to turn my page and I'm going to do it this way. That way I'm doing the same movement, the same motion. So you're going to go along this little, along here, and then to about a quarter away. Okay. And then step 3, we're going to go back to here, and we're going to do this line. We're going to come from top to bottom like that. And then what I will probably do is then turn it around and do top to bottom like that. Just so that I have, can keep it straight in my head. So let's look at it again. Step 1 is going to be these arches. Step 2 is going to be these arches the other way in the other square. Step 3 is going to be up and over like that. Okay, that's the same movement, whether you go up and over or whether you turn it around and go over and down. Basically the same. So we're going to do this like that. Next, what are we going to do? Okay, these are on the ones going this way, vertically. Then on the ones going horizontally, we're going to make that same thing. We're going to go here. Like that. These are it's going to take a little bit of time. Well, I'm not saying it's completely the easiest thing we've ever done. I am saying it's possible to do by following the steps. Okay, so we'll just do them one at a time. We're going to take it one little step at a time. We're not going to panic. We're not going to get freaked out. We're going to do it one step at a time. Okay, so now that we have these shapes that kind of look like you've blown up one of those long skinny balloons, like you're gonna, like the clowns make little balloon animals out of, and you've left that long little tail on it. Doesn't that kind of look like that? Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like. Once we've done that, then step 5 is to come in here and do this arch from here down to here into this square. So basically when you go across here, you're leaving the space of that, whatever that size is. So you're going to come down into here, come down into here, same thing, come down into here, and then we're going to go over into here, which should make our rings all the way filled in. So then the next step is to then take our green pencil lines and do overs and unders. See where right here? It's going to go under there like that, and then this one's going over. And then we can do over here. So we're going to do overs and unders. So like in the sample, can you see that? Yeah. In the sample, that one goes under, under. That one goes over, and then that one goes under, and then that one goes under. Why we're not doing over, under, that's how I would do it, but so this one is going over, and this one's going over, and then this one went under, and then it went over, and then it went over. So do your overs and unders. I'm going to do that so that it makes sense for me, but you do what you want to do, okay? I'm probably going to go over, under, over, under. Yeah? Is that what I'm going to do? No, because that would go under there, that would go over here, that would go under there, over, under. Yeah. So this one all would be overs. And then this one probably would be all unders. I'm going to start with one and then go unders and overs based on that. I think that's what I'm going to do. Anyways. I'll figure it out when we get that far. That's the last step. So let's give this a go. I am going to not use my straight edge. I could use my straight edge, and I could totally, with this, make a beautiful grid that's exactly straight. Let me turn on my light so I can see, so you guys can see better. Much better. I could totally do that. But I think I'm going to freehand it, and I'm not going to worry about whether they're exactly straight or not. So I'm going to make myself a border because I want to make sure I'm not getting too close to the edge, although I do kind of like the idea of them kind of just trailing off. So I think I'm going to make I got a nice big piece of paper today, so I think I'm going to make my border like way in so I have plenty of room to like go off the edge with my trailing ends, just like they did on the sample. And I'm not measuring. You see, I'm not measuring. I'm not even really probably doing it straight. Just kind of something like that. About like that. Looks close enough. And then I'm going to divide this into however many pieces I think I need. Am I just going to do... How many did she divide into that one? She did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here, and then here and here. And then here and here. Something like that. And then we'll make that bigger like that. Something like that. And then about in the middle, somewhere in here. And then we're going to do in 2 parts here. Like that. And 2 parts here. Okay, so now I've made my grid like that. Now I want to come back and make a double grid, just gently, about that far apart. Which one of these lines is, I do want to erase the line that I don't want. I don't want that one. This one's straighter. Something like that. Something like that. Like that. See, I'm not being super precious with it. If it's wonky, it's wonky. If it's a little wiggly, it's a little wiggly. I'm just making sure that I make this line on the same side as I drew this one, just so that the spacing didn't go funky along the way. Okay, so this is my, I'm going to go ahead and go a little bit further past. Same thing here. I don't know why I stopped those lines. I want to make sure that they continue. Okay, so I want to make sure that one is my cross piece, and then I want to do this one. Oh, I didn't do this one. And then this one's got a good cross piece, and then go across here, and across here, and I'm going to erase this line that I don't want. Don't want to confuse myself. This is going to be confusing enough as it is without confusing myself with an extra line. See, when I do it kind of woggly like this, then it's going to look even more like it zoomed in on some sort of fabric. Because see, those are wonky. Those are not even close to being straight. But that's okay. And you know what? If you're intimidated by this pattern and you want to start drawing it out in pencil, I encourage you to do that. Which is probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure that this is about where I want it to go. About the same width as this over here. And then I want to come here like that. And I'm going to do it in pencil about to here, about to here, about to here, and about to here. Oh, see, this is why I did it in pencil. Look at what I did. I skipped this one like I was supposed to, and then I didn't skip this one. I was supposed to skip this one. Good thing I did it in pencil. Skip and skip. Okay, Dono. It's okay to plan it out in pencil. So then we're going to make it match this one. And skip one. Make sure you skip that one because I forgot on that other row. This is going to be a long video, folks. If you want to skip past parts of this, feel free. But this is a more complex pattern. It's got lots of steps. Not necessarily a lot of steps. It really only has 7 steps, but it's got steps that you really need to think about. Okay, so that's going to be step 1. So let me draw step 1 now. And let me just come in here. Let me get myself settled. It's going to be another warm day. It's kind of hot in here, but we will deal with the heat. Okay. Want me to zoom in a little bit? You guys see what I'm doing? Zoom in a little bit. I always enjoy really challenging myself, so these harder patterns can feel really intimidating, but when I tackle one of these harder patterns and I get it done properly, I feel so accomplished. So it's really worthwhile trying these harder patterns. Maybe not if you were an absolute beginner, I wouldn't suggest it. But if you have had a few patterns under your belt, give it a try. What's the worst thing that could happen? Worst thing that can happen is that it doesn't look right and you move on, right? That's the worst thing that can happen, which is not that bad. Okay, so step 2, we're going to do that same thing again in these squares, but we're going to go the other way. And for me, the best way to do that is going to be to turn my page so that I'm going in that same curve that I went before. And then I'm going to remind myself of that, where I'm going to stop by going in and drawing it again with pencil. Because I want to make sure I stop in the right place and I don't come and connect it here. I want to make sure I stop right about there. Like that. So, yep, I'm going to draw it in pencil. Because it's confusing. Oop. Let's try that curve again. Okay, did it in pencil. So now I can come back with my pen and go over here, and we're going to stop. Come down there, over here, and stop. Make sure I have that gap. That's important to leave that gap. Come over here and stop. Come over here and stop. Here and stop. Making sure there's that gap. Oh, I missed drawing myself a line in this whole row. Can I do it in just pen? We'll give it a go. Make sure we stop though. Okay, so far so good. Like that. Okay, let me zoom out so you can see. Let me turn it back around so that it matches the sample. Like that, right? Actually, if you were looking at it on the website, you would see it like that. Okay? That's how it goes. So now let's do this next step. This next step goes, I have to turn my page so it matches what I'm looking at. And then I think I'm going to play with it with pencil because this is a little complicated. Okay, so I want to go, let me look. If it's a one that goes like this, then I need to go from here, and I need to go down right there. Okay, did you see what I did? Maybe not. Okay, so if it's this one, because this one's curving toward me, I know you guys always see it sideways, but if this is curving toward me, then I want to come here, right at the top of this line, so that these are parallel, and I come down, and then right where this is, I want to droop down to that line. Like so. So I'm going to do that on every one. Like this. And I'm just going to do it twice, basically, once in pencil, once not in pencil, just to make sure I'm getting that shape correct. And now I want to go the other way. Yeah? No. No. That's fine. That's step 3. That's all of them. I missed this row. I knew something didn't look right. Same thing here. Okay. And I missed this row. Were you guys yelling at me? You missed a row! I sometimes get comments like that. I was yelling at you. You missed a row. Okay, now I got all of this one that curves this way to go that way. That's correct. That's step 3. So let's draw step 3 with the pen. You ready? And then when you draw it with the pen, you can correct any weird shape you did with the pencil that's not quite what you wanted it to be. And you can connect up anything that didn't quite line up. Like that. this row. Like so. Are you seeing any of this? Am I getting this in frame? This is the hardest part about drawing and filming at the same time, is making sure that I can see what I'm doing and that I can reach what I need to reach, and keeping it in frame of the video. I do my best. I don't always do perfect. You guys tell me about that all the time. I'm much better than I used to be. At the beginning, I was really bad at it, and I would be off screen a lot. I'm not off screen that much anymore. Okay, that's step 3. You want me to zoom back out? You guys can see all of step 3, and I'm going to turn it so that it matches the sample, which is to have it going that way. Now that's what your page should look like if you're doing it the same direction I am. Next is to do, I'm going to get my pencil out again, is to do them going this way. Let me turn my page. They're supposed to go from here. I need to do that curve again. I need to do this curve, and it's supposed to go this way and that way. To me, it's easier to do it facing me so that I have this same curve. This one. This same curve. That's easier for me because that's the shape I did to start with, and I can keep that shape in my head. This S, kind of lazy S shape, I can keep that in my head easier than a shape that's going the other direction, sideways. Always turn your paper to make it easier for you, whether it's easier for your hand or easier for your brain. I'm turning this one less for my hand and more for my brain. Although the more you make this shape, the more muscle memory you end up getting. And you do, it's sort of both. It's brain and hand together. Okay. Okay. Pencil's done. Pen up. I'm gonna do this step. This is step number 4. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so you can see the step better. And then I'll zoom back out so you can see the whole thing. And if there are things that don't quite connect, use your pen to connect them up. Pardon me. Turn off that alarm. Dismiss. That's the, if I was going to work, I need to go to work now alarm. I set myself an alarm because I get distracted. I'll start drawing, or I'll start watching YouTube, or I'll start reading my Facebook friend messages and posts, or I'll play a video, or not a video game, but like a game on my phone, and the next thing you know, I look up and I'm late for work. So I set myself an alarm that says, it's time to put your shoes on. That's what that alarm is. It's the put your shoes on, grab your lunch, get yourself ready to go Alarm. Stop doing what you're doing, alarm. Don't be late for work, alarm. That's what that is. Can you see the pattern coming together? I can. It's really starting to take shape. And now at this point I could probably guess what our next step is to be. We're going to connect going this way, but I want to make sure. Let's look at the steps. So if you were following along exactly, it would look like this. That's after step 4. I turn it this way, you would be turning it that way. So I found it easiest to make that coming down toward me and then making that curve. That's just my personal preference. Now you might find it much easier to do it that way. Maybe you find it easier to go toward the side. Maybe that's how your brain works. I found it easier to go this way, which of course means I have to turn it this way because my body's over here. And the reason my body's over here is so that I'm not in the way of the camera, because if my body was over here, I'd be drawing like this and you wouldn't see a darned thing. Look at my age spots. I'm getting old. Oh well. Number 5. I have to make this go my direction. Right? Right. Which is this way. No. No, it's not. Which way is the way? Oh, now I've turned it around so many times I've forgotten where I was last. That's not good. I need to find the empty one. The empty one is going to be the one going this way. Yes, that's correct. Okay. So now I need to go, instead of coming from here and going down like this, I need to come from here, because I'm following this one around. I need to come from here and just go like this. So this one is the one that's not got that little S in it. It's just going to go like that. So it's going to come from here and come down. It's going to come from here and go. Something's not right here. I went too far with this line. I didn't stop. So we're going to do it anyway. We're going to come down from here. We're just going to let that be. Wrong. We're just going to let that be wrong. Okay, so this one's going to come from here and come down there. And we don't have that one. And then on this next row, comes from here and it goes down there. Comes from here and goes down there. Comes from here and it goes down here. Okay, on this row it comes from here and it goes down there. Here to there. Here to there. So the only one I didn't do right was this one. Did you see what happened here? Is I didn't stop at this line. I went all the way to there and I needed to stop here. Oh well. You won't notice after you fill it all in. So we're going to come from here and come around and go down. From here, around and down. From here, around and down. From here. around and down, from here, around and down, from here, around and down, and this one, and that one. Okay, this is step 5. Here we go with the pen. If they don't match up, just use your pen and fill in those little gaps. Like so. We're getting closer. Like that. It's getting there. And then of course now the next step is to do that same thing going, I'm going to turn it and it's going to go this way. That same curve like that here. And then this one, and that one. Okay, we're going to do that same movement again. Some of my little knitted circle bits are thicker than others, and that is okay. You see, since I didn't measure my grid, it's okay if I've got a fat one and a skinny one. It's all right. I mean, I guess I could really work on making sure that they're all exactly the same width. But I'm not worried about it. In the end, it doesn't really matter. Unless you want it to matter. I mean, if you want it to matter, go ahead. You know, knock yourself out. Measure, be more precise, take longer. Now, if I wanted to do this more precise, I could. I'm physically capable of doing so, but it would take me much longer and I wouldn't be able to do it while I'm talking. And I know that. I know that about myself. But this is fine. I have no problem with this kind of wide lump that's been created here. I don't mind. It doesn't bother me. Okay. And now you could leave it like this. You could just erase that pencil grid and just leave it like this, which is really cool. Or you can add that pencil grid in there, which is step 7. And if you want to do step 7, that's cool. You don't have to. I'm going to start in the middle one here, and I'm going to go over And then to do under, I'm going to stop like that. And then I'm going to go over. And then I'm going to go under, which means I'm going to stop there like that. Okay? Over, under, over, under. And then where I have them going over, and where I've got them going under, I'm going to make an over here, which means I need an under here. And I need an under here. This is how I'm figuring out where I want my overs and unders. So if this one's over, then this one's under, right? And then this one's under. And then this one's over. Same thing here. If this one is over, then this one is under. And then this one is under. And this one is over. Right. Gotcha. Now, I can do an over and under here. So this one goes over, and it goes under, and then it goes over, and then it would go under here. It would go under here. And then this one, is that right? I can see why they had troubles with overs and unders. So if that is over, this is under. So then this is over this way. Oh, that's not right. I can see why they had troubles with their overs and unders. Can't you? I can. Over. Okay. This is probably why Ina didn't bother worrying about whether it goes over or under, because it was too hard to figure out the weave, which is fine. I just wanted to be a little bit more correct. but it's not going to be. It's just not going to be. Whew, it's getting hot in here. Me another roasty day. It's going to be over 100 degrees again today. Just what I want. I didn't do that one right. That's all right. We'll figure it out, right? Close enough. What did I? Close enough. Something like that. Oh my goodness, look at what time it is. This video is too long. Well, I'm almost done. So you know when the videos are really long, I've either colored, which I was hoping to do here, but there's no way I'm going to have time because I can only go 1 hour on my camera. And I'm already at 48 minutes. So there is no way I have time to color. Unless I just color off camera and just show you the picture later. Or, so either I've colored or it's a complicated pattern. And that's what this one is. This one's just a complicated pattern. So I'm going to, you know, on these ends, just kind of do like this and bring them down so that they're loose. Oops, I didn't do this side. Okay, under, over, under. Should be over, but it ended up under. That should be over. So I'm just going to let these strings kind of go on their own, whichever direction they decide they want to live. Kind of like, close enough. That's where they ended up coming through. Some on top, some underneath. Uh-oh. Am I out of battery? No, not quite yet, but I'm getting close. Okay, do I have all my strings hanging out there? 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, missing one here. All the way around. Okay, so there's where I ended up. We did it. You can now come back and color this, which would be really fun. But, you know, it is possible. It's just a long one, that's all. And you can be more precise than I was. I was just showing you that you can do it less precise and it doesn't make it any less valid of a pattern. I could have done it a little bit smaller number of squares. If I'd done less squares, I could have gotten more accomplished and maybe been even more loosey-goosey with it. I could have done it on a warped grid. You want to get it really complicated, but I think it's best to leave it kind of as close to the pattern original as possible for at least the first time we give it a go, right? And then you can come back here and shade your unders and overs. That also would be a great idea. I just don't have time. You don't want to sit here and watch me shade. You guys know how to shade overs and unders. So let's put the name of this, whatever it was called. It was called Intermingle. Sign it somewhere. It's called Intermingle. And there we go. That's pretty cool. Gotta turn it so you guys see the whole thing kind of straight. Alright, so that's the end of that one for today. You guys go out and do something nice for someone today. I know this was a really challenging pattern, but don't be scared of the challenging patterns. Just break them down step by step, and if you have to, draw them out in pencil first. It's okay, you can do that. I give you permission. You know what I mean, my permission. This is your art. You can do whatever you want. But I actually kind of liked it without this grid. So I think if I draw it again, I would put in the pencil grid so that I can, you know, make these circles. But then I think I would leave it at just the circles. To me, this is a little busy. But, you know, to other people it might not be. And you can do all sorts of things with this. You can either color it, you can shade it, you can put just a dark, like decide which side has a thicker border, and just do a little bit thicker on one side of each of these things to make them more 3D. There are all sorts of things you can do to this pattern. So anyways, you guys have a great day, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.